Welcome back to Dockside Shop and Forge. So, a few weeks ago, Fire Pants Engineering down in South Australia put out a little blurb asking if people were interested if they were going to do a run of some smaller swage blocks. Now this is their largest size, which has arrived today. So I am stoked to get into this box and to see what we've got. So let's do that. Oh, it's going to be an easier way to do this. Okay, so very good. Well packaged, I'll give it that. Oh, lovely. Promotional material, oh, sweet. Usual paperwork. So, here's the beastie. Let's see, let me get into this thing. Now these are made out of mild steel. They appear to be, yeah, they're torch cut. There's a plasma. They're plasma cut. That's not a bad finish for plasma cutting. Now they are 300 by 500 by 50 millimeters, and trust me, the postie was not impressed with this little gift that he had to deliver. So they come complete with cutting scale and edge cleanup to be done, so I will be doing that before I give it a go. But so far I'm pretty happy with that. So we have square holes from, what do I do with my steel ruler? There it is. From 1 inch through to almost 2 inches. Yeah, 45 millimeters down to 26-ish. Hammer eye punching holes from 35 through to 2 inches, and round holes which are not plasma cut but appear to be machined, from 2 inches through to 1 inch. Typical radiusing, which is what I've really been looking for in a swage block, is these, because it makes it possible for me to start making, or rather to return to making, adzes for hollowing work and so on. This makes it so much easier to form a nice cutting bit on an adze when you've got a nice swage to go onto. So, short of the fact that there's a fair bit of scale everywhere, this is definitely the top side. There's a lot more dag and penetration from the cutting on this side facing me, but it's not bad, and all things considered, for the price, which is a shade under $300 Australian, that is not bad for a brand new item. So, plenty of weight in it, weighs about 50 pounds, so 25 kilos I believe. Let's run that on the scales and see. Alright, but that is 25 kilos on the nose. Yep, 25 kilos. So once the edges are cleaned up, A bit of filing and grinding to be done. This beastie will be ready to be put to work. So let's get on with that, and then we'll see about making something and see how it handles. Bearing in mind I don't have a stand for it yet, but I will. So, as part of getting this thing ready to use, because this is putting the cart before the horse, I need to build a stand for it. So, let's get on with that. What we're going for is a angle iron frame, which will have a 75mm channel at the bottom, so cut out in the middle so that you can drop the swage block down into it so it can stand upright and be supported. Now I'm not sure whether a roughly 50mm worth of support at the bottom will be adequate to handle reasonably heavy hammering. I may end up having to space that down a little bit, but we'll see how we go. And then it'll have some legs. Here you'll see the angle iron disappearing off into there. Heavy gauge round pipe with some sort of bracing between them to keep the legs in alignment whilst you belt on it. And it will be probably aiming for no higher than knee high, so about 400mm overall height. The angle iron is 50 by 50 by 6. The channel is 75 by 40. I think it's a bit shallow, but we'll see how we go. Probably drop it down a little bit. I've got some other stock that I can weld to the edge to give a bit more spacing, but I'd like to minimise the number of welds in impact critical areas. Probably end up being a relatively noisy little beast, but let's get to measuring up and get the frame built, and then we'll figure out the rest as we go. Center lines. Alright, so here we've got the outside frame. So now we need to mark up where we want the little cutout for it to drop down into so we can work with it upright. Let's get that cut out. And whilst we're at it, let's cut the support channel too. Gotta love a good drop. So we are at the 3112. Ringing time. So, with those cutouts done and fitted, it's time to weld the old channel on. Now, realistically, I'm not sure if this is adequate, but it's the best I can do on short notice. We're going to tack it into place, and then we're going to do some heavy welds. So, how long do I make the legs? Well, I want to be able to swing a sledgehammer on it. So, I'm going to put the face about 400 above the ground, which is significantly lower than an anvil. That said, it's not something that you use every day and all day every day. And the beauty of this height is when you flip it on its edge, you have your fullers or your swages at the edge of it at about the height of the anvil. It's a bit lower, but it should be okay. So that means the legs are going to have to be 350 long. So let's cut 4 of those. Alright, so there we've got the legs. We've got the frame over there. Let's do a bit of a mock-up so we can see what we're doing. So the plan, have the legs splay out a bit, and I'll use these as the governor for that. That way it should end up reasonably stable. If I do that, yes, it'll work, but no, that's the easy way. Place that doesn't quite work is here, because I've got a bit of weld there. That's nothing a grinding can't fix. And this will keep its footprint nice and small. Put a bit of bracing to keep it from splaying too much. Ideally this should extend down about this far, but we'll see how we go. I can always run a grinder through and cut these beads. Alright, let's clean up this little bit of weld and see about fitting these on. Oh, did a bit of welding to it, didn't I? So that's the height that I've got for when I'm using it as a swage. That's something that I'm going to have to figure out where it's binding, because it wasn't binding earlier. So where is that binding, eh? Okay. I'm going to let those ends open. Now this thing only weighs 25 kilos, so 55 pounds. Need to do something about that. So that's the height I've opted for. So if I'm doing something, I can get a good sledgehammer swing onto it. Could it be a tiny bit taller? Maybe. But that's what I've ended up with. I can extend the legs. Shortening things would definitely be a problem. So there we go. Ready for use. Okay, so much filing and sanding later. I haven't cleaned out all of the grooves here because, to be fair, swage blocks aren't about surface finish. they're about forming things. Now yes, the better the surface, the less work you've got to do later, but there are some things that are better left undone. So I've got the two main curves that I'll probably be using done up. I've chamfered all the edges that I planned on using, so all of these holes are chamfered, top and bottom edges, outside edges are chamfered, and I've removed any raised dag, for the most part, from the cutting process. There's a few little spots that I'm finding now that I might have missed. If you would like to provide financial support to the channel, I now have a Patreon. The link is down below. Your donations go towards making all of this possible. Improvements in recording equipment, lights, noise reduction, new tools, and so on. Your donations are just that, donations. The content will always be free. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up, feel free to share on social media, and if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love it if you subscribed, and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you do. So get out to your shop, have fun, but do stay safe, and I'll catch you for the next one. Now if you'd like more information on Fire Pants Engineering, their stock of anvils and other things they make, like their belt grinders, I will leave a link in the description down below to their website. Bear in mind they are an Australian company, so shipping internationally is going to be up to their discretion as to whether they will or not. Shipping within Australia, I understand, is free, so that's not a bad deal for some pretty bulky and heavy items.